Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So we're going to invite everyone here in the sanctuary and those who are joining us at home, if you want to just take a moment as we settle into Shabbat to turn off if you have any electronic health or medicine, we're going to invite you to put those aside. Part of the beauty of Shabbat is that we are able to be present. We're able to be present with ourselves, present with all who are around us. And so whether you're here in the sanctuary and your presence is felt or you're joining us from afar, we'll invite you to take a moment to settle into the beauty of this time of week, the gift of what Shabbat is for each of us, for our bodies, for our souls, for our hearts and our minds, an opportunity to slow down, an opportunity to unplug a little bit, and to be together in a way that we desperately need right now. As we turn to page 10 or page 252, we greet Shabbat. We start with our beloved Yedid Nefesh, page 10 in the Lev Shalem again, and page 252.
Yedid Nefesh Av Harachamar Mishoch Avdach El Retzonach
Yarutz Adam Kemaya Ishtahave Mol Hadara Ki Yeravo Yedid Continue on page 11 or page 254 in the Sim Shalom. Lechu neranena.
Lechu neranena l'Adonai Nariya l'tzor yishenu Nikadma fanav betodah Bismirot Nariya lo
Arba'im shana akut beto va'omar atoele v'aven ve'hem lo yadu terachai asher nishbati ve'api im yevo'un el menuchati. Page 13 or page 254.
שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ.
שירו לאדוני ברוך שמו, בשירו מיום ליום ישועתו. ספרו בגויים כבודו וכל העמים יפתח.
כי גדול אדוני ומהולל מאוד, נורא הוא על כל אלוהים. כל אלוהים ואדוני שמיים עשה, עוד והדר לפניו, עוד ותפארת במקדשו. לאדוני משפחות רבים, אהבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, אהבו לאדוני כבוד שמו, זהו גבעהו בולך חצרותיו, השתחוו לאדוני בהדרת קודש, אילו מפניו כל הארץ יבואו בגויים. השמיים ותגל הארץ, ירם הים ומלוא, ינוס עדי וכל השבות, אז ירננו כל הצייר, לפני אדוני כי היווה לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט תבל בצדק.
Top of page 15, Adonai Malach.
תגל
צדק ומשפט נכון כיסאות.
שם אהבת תשמח ציון ותגלנה בנות יהודה למען משפטיך אדוני. זרו על הצדיק ולשלב שמחה, שמחו צדיקות באדוני והודו זכר קודשו.
מזמור שיר לאדוני שיר חדש, כי באת זהו שלנו. הודיענו ישמענו page 19.
משה ואהרון בכהניו ושמואל בקורא שמו קוראים אל אדוני והוא יענה. והשתחוו להר קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו.
Please rise if you're able, page 21 or page 260.
מזמור לדוד, הבו לאדוני בני אלים, הבו לאדוני כבוד ועוז, הבו לאדוני כבוד שמו ישתחוו לאדוני בעדת קודש כל אדוני הכבוד
may be seated. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
So my 2.5-year-old had a multicultural fair at her school. She goes to school, it's very adorable. And at the multicultural fair, the entire school, it actually goes from a preschool all the way through 8th grade. It's called the Studio School here on the Upper West Side. And everyone in the school sang a few songs together. And one of those songs was one that is familiar to many of us, the Beatles' All You Need Is Love. All you need is love. And so now my daughter will turn to us and she'll say, can you do the love song, the love, love, love song? Because in their version, and as you know how it goes, everyone, it goes, love, love, love. And so there were harmonies, exactly. We have it going here a little bit. So just to get into it, so she'll just kind of walk around our house and she's saying, love, love, love. So we know where it's coming from. And so we know that the essence of that song, all we need is love. It's beautiful, it's simple, and it's beautiful. I think that that's actually the power of so many of those songs and those melodies, is that we know all we need is love, but the question is actually, how do we cultivate that love? How do we cultivate it? How do we bring that feeling up inside of each of us, especially in a world that is full of hate, especially in a world that's full of hate, and we know going into this Shabbat that there has been a call for hate. There's actually a call to say that this should be a day of hate toward the Jewish people, toward those who are different. We are now on a 1-year anniversary of a war in Ukraine. There is a lot of hate. We are watching also in Israel and in Palestine. There is a lot of hate. We have more than we need. We have more than our share. And the question coming back to, yes, all we need is love, but how? How do we get that love? And I want to offer one piece of Torah that is one answer to this question, because there are many ways. There are many ways that we can seep into that love that's deep inside of us. In our Parsha this week, we have Parshat Truma, and it opens with the commandment that God says to Moshe. He says that you need to tell the people they're going to build the Mishkan. They're going to build this portable tabernacle, this portable place of worship in the desert. And God says, actually, Vaikhuli Truma, you should bring for me, or you should take for me these gifts or these dedications, these donations that I'm asking for the people. And it should actually be on their own accord. It's a beautiful opening to this gift giving of the tabernacle, of the Mishkan. And there's a teaching from one of the great teachers of Musar, Rabbi Eliyahu Dressler. He's actually more modern, and he died in 1950s. So he was writing, but the Musar movement is all about finding that spark of love within each of us and letting it grow, so that within us, it's where it starts, and then it will go to our families, it will go to our communities, it'll go to the world, that really the change actually starts from within. And he teaches about our Parsha this week. He is exploring the relationship between giving and taking. And what he says is, we come to this question. He says, we come here to an interesting question. And the question is, we see that love and giving always come together. We see that love and giving always come together. Is the giving a consequence of the love, or perhaps the reverse is true? Is the love a result of the giving? We usually think it is love which causes giving because we observe that a person showers gifts of favors and love on the one that they love. So often you think, okay, I love this person, so I want to give them gifts. I want to give to them because I love them. So he's asking, which comes first? Which one of these can come first? But there is another side, he says, to this argument. Giving may bring about love for the same reason that a person loves what they themselves have created or nurtured. When we give of ourselves, we then see a piece of ourself in whatever it is that we gave to, whether that is a person, whether it is to a cause, whether it is to our broken world. We can see a piece of ourselves, and the love can grow from the giving. It doesn't have to start with the love in order to give. The teaching of our Parsha this week, and what he's saying, is that it's all about the gift giving can cultivate that love deep within us. And when we think about the idea of what it is to give as a people, the centerpiece of who we are is avodah, is this act of service, is our prayer, is our coming together on Shabbat, is our way of giving pieces of ourselves in order to make and create a bigger whole. And I loved even the way that it sounds in thinking about avodah leads to ahava. Avodah leads to ahava, that this gift giving, and whether it's a gift or really it's just the giving of who we are, can actually allow for us to build that love that we so desperately need in the world. Ahava is a core piece of Shabbat. It's a core piece of our tefillah. We're going to hear, and I'm going to actually ask you as we go on in our tefillah, as we go into the Chadodi, as we go through the Mariv service, you will hear the word Ahava over and over again. Love is at the core of our avodah. Love is at the core of Shabbat, of a day when we give of ourselves, when we give to our communities in order to cultivate that deep sense of love. And I just want to end with a powerful quote. It may be very familiar, but it speaks to this moment, and it's an opening for each one of us that on this Shabbat, when there's a call for hate, Shabbat is all about love. And it is not about, and Dr. Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. And so on this Shabbat, as we cultivate our love through what we have to offer and what we have to give, using love to combat that hate, the light of our candles and our souls to send away that darkness, I invite us to dive deeply into that. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. Bum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum. So we'll dive deeper into our avodah, deeper into our love with Chadodi on page 23 or 262, cultivating and bringing up the love through our song, through our praise, through our gift of being together.
שמור וזכור בדיבורך השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך דודי לקראת קלה פני שבת
לקראת שבת לכבוד לך כי בכל
יד בן ישי קורבה אל נפשי לך דודי לקראת כלה בני שבת
We continue with the Psalm for Shabbat, page 27 or page 266 in the Sim Shalom.
Mizmor shir liyom hashabbat tov leodot l'Adonai
בצבע.
עוד ינופון בצבע.
דשנים ורעננים יהיו.
טוב, טוב להודות עדותיך נאמנו מאוד.
עדותיך נאמנו מאוד.
לביתך נא בקודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
Continue with the Aravit service, turning to page 39A or 279. The Baruch Hu, we invite you to rise if you are able to. We face east toward Yerushalayim, or toward the ark here.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher
ומעביר יום ומביא לילה ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה אדוני צבאות שמו אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב הרבים.
Continue on page 40 or 282. Timeless and deep love. אהבת עולם בית ישראל עמך אהבת תורה ומצוות חוקים ומשפטים אותנו למעלת על כינוננו כך וכל נשמח לברנו כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו והם נגע יומם ולילה ואהבתך תשים ממנו לעולמים ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך וביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך והיה משמעות לשמוע אל מצוות הישר
לבב חכם שגם נתתי מראה ושספת דגני כתיב ישר וצריך ונתתי יסס השתחותם להם וחרב ושמתם את דברים Top of page 43A. Continue with praying for redemption, page 44 or page 290.
מלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We pray for peace. Hashki Venu, page 45 or 292, picking up at the bottom together. Hashki Venu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom amitinu malkeinu v'chayinu v'osalinu s'kashtem
שלומך pores sukat shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al kol yoshevei tevel ve'al Yerushalayim. Please rise. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורות ביני ובין בני ישראל עוד היא לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה ועמד יברח יורתי וימליך מלכותי
בחי יכון וביום יכון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל
בגלה בזמן קריב ויאמרו
אמן. יש מאבא מבורך לעולם ולעולם ועלמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה ברכו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמיד בעלמא ויאמרו
Amen. We turn east toward Yerushalayim for the silent Amidah, an invitation to say the words on the page, starting on page 47 or 296, or the words in your heart, cultivating that giving and that love.
מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם ועשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם ועשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם ואנחנו נברך מעתה ועד עולם מעתה ועד עולם
Another message from our Parsha that says, it starts from within. It says, you'll build this mikdash, but I'm going to dwell among you. I'm going to dwell within you. And so we keep going deeper in, starting with that spark within each of us. We continue on page 53, or if you're using the Sim Shalom, on page 314 with Vayechu. Vayechu hashamayim ve'haaretz v'chol tzvam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbok bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto Kivo Shabbat Mikol Melachto Asher Bara Elohim Lasot.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor.
אבות בדברו, מחיה מתים במאמרו, האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו.
המלך כמוהו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניחם.
לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד.
מעון הברכות אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי.
מניח בקדושה לעמד ושני עונג, זכר למעשה בראשית.
אלוהי אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, שבענו מטובך, ושמח נפשנו בישועתך. וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. וטהר ליבנו ממה, וטהר ליבנו פפא, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. היי היי ירדאי 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 ירדאי, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון. שבת קודשך, שבת קודשך, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה וברצון. שבת קודשך, שבת קודשך, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת. והרגילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בה ישראל מקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה, במדירך ירצה, בהמליך מלכותי, בחייכונו ובמלכונו, בחייתךו בית ישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב אמרו אמן.
בן יש מרבה מברך, יעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך.
יתברך וישתבח ויפאר וירומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה.
ברכו
לעילא מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ויאמרו
אמן. תתקבל צלותיהון ובאותיהון לכל ישראל קודם, אבוהון די וישמעיה ואמרו אמן.
אמן. יש למה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
אמן. עושה שלום במרומם, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל
ואמרו amen. Continue with the sanctification of the day, Kiddush, and you can find that on page 55 or 318. The grape juice will be handed out here in the sanctuary, and anyone who's joining us from home or from another location, feel free to grab a glass of wine or grape juice to join us in Kiddush.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצבנו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון. הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא הקודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש Shabbat.
L'chaim. We continue with a blessing for our children. We'll invite up any children who are here. I think I may have seen some, but we'll invite you up for your blessing. You can join us under the talit, under the age of the B'nai Mitzvah, under the age of 13. And those who are coming from home, you can grab little ones or big ones, anyone. We're all children at heart. We'll join you in this blessing. You can find it on your supplemental handout here in the sanctuary or on page 692 in the Sim Shalom.
הגואל אותי, המלאך הגואל אותי מכל רע, יברך את הנערים ויקרב בהם שמי. בשם אבותיי, בשם אבותיי, אברהם ויצחק ויתגו לרוב, ויתגו לרוב בקרב הארץ.
ישמחה אלוהים כאפרים וכמנשה, ישימך אלוהים כשרה רבקה רחל ולאה. יברכך אדוני וישמרך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. Shabbat shalom. Beautiful. We'll continue with Aleinu on page 56 or 320.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויורד ארץ מושב יקרא בשמיים ממעל ושנת מזור הוא אלוהינו כן בזורת הכרת טוב וטוב כן מקבל לך
נתקן לך תיכה כל הגר אני יכול שמחכה בגלל כי המלכות של חיים
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני
למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Continue with a mourner's Kaddish, inviting those who are in mourning or marking a yortzeit to remain standing. Everyone else may be seated, and those who are joining us on Zoom can unmute if you're saying Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra kirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, v'chaye chon u'v'yomei chon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Leolam U'Almei Maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei D'Kedusha B'richu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi Shalama Rabbah min Shemaya V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Welcome
Shabbat Shalom.
to B'nai Jeshurun. It is so wonderful to see many familiar faces and many new faces. If we haven't had the chance to meet you yet, please come introduce yourself to Ari, to me, I'm Becca, and to Alissa afterwards, and please meet each other before you head out this evening. We say Mazal Tov as a community to Tzipora Harlem on the naming of her granddaughter, Romy Eliana Rothstadt, and the daughter of Daniel and David, and also the arrival of her grandson, Reuben Bruce Harlem Hula, and the son of Jessica Harlem and Eric Hula, and they're going to be celebrating tomorrow morning with us with a baby naming. And we also say Mazal Tov to Georgette Bennett and Leonard Polinsky on the birth of their granddaughter, Aryeh Ketra Tenenbaum, and to the parents, Liz and Joshua Mark Tenenbaum. And we turn to the other side of the life cycle and say Hamakom Yenachem. We send our condolences and our comfort to Toby Hartman and her sister Darcy Amick and their entire family on the death of their father David Hartman, and to Charles Simon and his entire family on the death of his father Lauren Simon. And we also welcome, we say Bruchim Habaim, and welcome to our congregation, Sharit Israel, that's visiting us from Dallas. Do we see you here? Yes, welcome. A big group. Welcome, welcome. It's a little chilly, a little colder probably than you're used to, but we're welcoming you with the warmth of Shabbat here. And we will continue after our services. There is going to be a dinner for the 30s and 40s in the chapel, so you can make your way back there. So if you're here for that dinner, please, Margaret will be there, and you can go next door for the dinner when we're finished. And tomorrow morning there will be a Shabbat morning learners service with Rabbi Shuli Passau, which is also going to be in the Rabbi Rachel Cowan Memorial Chapel. That'll start at 9 a.m. And we will have our services starting here at 9:30 a.m. in the sanctuary. And following Kiddush tomorrow after lunch, there's going to be creating a caring community, what, how, why, and when. And that will also be in the chapel, and that will be a discussion with Rabbi Shuli Passau as well in exploring the mitzvot of chesed, of kindness, and cultivating that love and embracing what it is to be a part of the community, especially here at BJ through our covenant that we have created together. And after we enjoy Shabbat and eating and praying and being together and giving the gifts that we have to offer and turning that into a lot of love, at 6:35 we will gather for Aravit and Havdalah to end Shabbat together on Zoom, 6:35. On Monday, February 27th, there is going to be a benefit concert for Turkey and Syria for those who are still really struggling and battling, many for their lives and for their safety and security, both emotionally, physically. That's going to be at 8 p.m. at the City Winery, which is on 25 11th Street. And it's going to be with our musical team here that we have Don and Satoshi and Ismail and Shoko and many other musicians. Rabbi Roli will also be singing, but it's to raise money for those victims of the earthquake. And so we continue to hold them in our prayers and our hearts, and we continue to act. And Ismail has some family and friends, and so he has held this together, and we're very grateful, Ismail, not only for his beautiful clarinet, but also for allowing us to join you in supporting however we can. Again, that'll be Monday night, 8 p.m., City Winery. And Thursday, March 2nd, we will have at 6:30 here the Helen Radin Memorial Teaching for Zion Adar, which is the last flight home, a film screening talking about end-of-life decisions. And Zion Adar is when we celebrate and we hold up and really appreciate those who are a part of the Chevra Kadisha, those who help prepare dead bodies and our loved ones for their journey into the world to come. And it's a beautiful ritual, and so we celebrate them, and we also invite you to do some learning. This is important conversations to have around end of life, both for you and for your families, and thinking about it. So 6:30 Thursday, March 2nd. And next Shabbat, we are going to be inviting back, and we're very excited to invite back Rabbi Dini Lewidis, who will be joining us as the scholar in residence for Shabbat. So you can keep an eye out for that. She'll be teaching, she'll be preaching, she'll be joining us. And the theme that we're going to be exploring is love, hate, politics, and faith, ancient Persia or modern America. So lots of love and hate continuing into Shabbat, hopefully more of the love continuing into that Shabbat. We'll also be able to learn with her about Megillat Esther and just a wonderful opportunity of learning and welcoming her back as our scholar. And then coming up in the coming weeks, we're just going to invite you to keep an eye out for everything Purim related. We're in the month of Adar. We're going to be celebrating Purim. The Megillah reading is going to be taking place March 6th, the nighttime. We have celebrations for families and for everyone of all ages, and we have a group that Ari has been working with of talented individuals for Shushan Night Live and community Megillah reading and comedy, so please keep an eye out for that. And also a lecture that will be coming up, a conversation with Rabbi Michael Strassfeld, which is on March 11th, which will be happening with Rabbi Rowley and Judith Platcow, Judaism Disrupted and a Spiritual Manifesto for the 21st Century. So keep an eye out on all these wonderful things that are coming up. And we will also, just a reminder before we wrap up, we're going to be finishing with Shalom Aleichem, which is, we're going to be using a melody that comes from Belts, which is a part of Ukraine, and we are at the mark of 1 year of this devastation of the war that is happening in Ukraine. And so we here at BJ use melodies from all over the world. A few weeks ago, we used a melody that many Turkish Jews use and really pick up from their community. And one of the ways we show our solidarity, one of the ways we show our support is also through our prayer and through our action. And so we'll invite you to join us in this beautiful melody as we hold those who are still struggling. There's saying that the numbers, they're estimating around 300,000 plus have lost their lives due to this senseless hate, and so we will combat that with our radical love. And so we join us, please, in praying for these angels, for this shalom, for this peace, and this love of this beautiful Shabbat, 73 or page 722.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Asharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ruachem L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ruachem L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Oy mi Melech Malchi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Oy mi Melech Malchi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Oy tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi HaShalom, Malachi Elyon. Oy mi Melech Malchi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Adonai Oz le'amoitin, Adonai Yevarech et Amav b'shalom, may it be a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of peace, a Shabbat of love, a Shabbat of giving, and a Shabbat of community. Shabbat Shalom u'mivorach.
Shabbat.